Good evening and welcome to Thursday's We Are Leeds. Coming up tonight, it's press conference day up at Thorpe Arch. We've got the latest from Simon Grayson and his reaction to that FA charge. The reserves fought back from 2-0 down to win 3-2 last night. We'll hear from Neil Thompson and Dominic Pollion and Richard Naylor on facing Millwall at the weekend. So welcome to Thursday's We Are Leeds. First up tonight, and it's the Leeds United boss, Simon Grayson. He's been facing the media up at Thorpe Arch ahead of the lunchtime kick-off on Saturday against Millwall. Leeds United have only won 1 in 6 against Millwall of late, and Simon Grayson hopes that trend will change on Saturday. This is what he told the assembled media.
So training is well underway ahead of Saturday's game against Millwall, with the attacking options on this side and Simon working on the defensive side at the moment. But the big question is, how's Simon feeling ahead of the game against Millwall, a side who in their last 2 league games have scored 7 goals?
They're a good team. Last year they came very close to obviously catching us the last game of the season. I don't think the personnel has changed dramatically since last year. Last year they were organised, they were hard working, but they were obviously got players who were a threat in front of goal as well. So it's not surprising that they've had such a good start. It might surprise a lot of other people. They've actually gone to Bristol City and won 3-0 and then turned over Hull, who were a Premiership team last year, 4-0. So we know we're in for a tough game. And all the games that we've had against them since I've been here at least have always been very close. There's not much sort of between the teams. We obviously last year we came out on the wrong side of 2 defeats, which was disappointing. But yeah, we know all about them. They'll know all about us, and hopefully we get the breaks this weekend.
The boss, Simon Grayson, on facing Millwall on Saturday lunchtime. Joined in the studio now by James Stanley, who was part of the assembled media gathering at Thorpe Arch. Millwall obviously was a hot topic today. Simon was pretty quick to dismiss any idea that this was going to be an easy game.
Well, basically, one point that Simon batted away was the fact that they are a League One side, so they should be pretty easy to beat. And I mean, look at their form recently. They've got 7 goals in their last 2 league games, and they're currently top of the Championship as well, and they've beaten off 2 teams who were promotion favourites. So it's not going to be an easy game. It'll be a tough test for Leeds, but, you know, I think we'll be up for it, really.
Yeah, shock horror. Positivity from James Stanley, as always. Next up for Simon, though, it was the question of the FA charge from the game against Nottingham Forest on Sunday. The boss disappointed.
I don't think when you talk about the terms of mass brawl, and I don't think there was punches thrown around, there was a few bodies being around. Basically, it started from sort of from their player who was being charged from the offence, and I think Bradley there was first in who noticed it, sort of maybe give the lad a little bit of a push, and then players were in there to sort it out because he was looking after his teammate. And I suppose any time you get a group of players all together, the FA now look into it as a major incident, and if they want to term it as a mass brawl, well, that's probably their trade description act or something like that. But we will probably fight our cause and give our reasons why we felt we shouldn't be punished. But obviously we've been charged, and hopefully we can defend ourselves properly. I'm not wanting my players to go around and be pushing and shoving and raising their arms to the opposition for needless reasons. But he was there. He saw his teammate get stamped on, and he was there to back him up. I'm not saying that I want him to be fighting his cause or anything like that, because Sanchez is a big lad who can look after himself, but it shows that you have to have that unity, that the team are together. When you score, we want the players to be there celebrating, shows a unity, but obviously when things happen, then you want them to be sticking up for the teammates, as long as it's within reason and within sort of the laws of the game.
Simon Grayson on the FA charge. So, James, what were the other headlines from the press conference?
Well, the big one was that David Sommer's now in contention for the squad. Simon said basically he's going to be in the squad on Saturday against Millwall, so it'll be good to see him get in there and really start to bite the bullet and have a go and see if he can bring this experience that he's had down at Lincoln up to the Championship and hopefully score a few goals, which will be quite nice. Also, injury update as well. We are keeping you up to date as much as we can with Billy Painter and Snodgrass as well. They've been to the hospital. They've been checked out by the surgeons. The surgeons are happy. The physios are very happy with their progress as well. And at the minute, it's day to day with both of them. But hopefully, it won't be too long until they're back. But no date has been set yet.
Did anybody manage to twist his arm enough to get some details on transfers?
No, it's still the same as always, you know, tight-lipped, and it'll be a surprise if anybody comes in. It'll be, there you go, that's who we've signed. you know, don't believe any of the rumours on the website.
No indication that anything's going to happen before Saturday?
No, nothing solid. Again, it's just the Premiership side of things. You know, once the Premier teams have decided on their 25-man squad, that some players may then be on the fringes and they may come down into the Championship if they fancy playing some football, but nothing solid yet.
Thank you very much, James. Let's bring you some more build-up to the game against Millwall. We've been speaking to the skipper, Richard Naylor, on facing the boys from the Den.
We know they're a decent side, a very strong side, and they've been around together as a team for quite a long time, sort of building and getting better and better. So we knew that they'd be decent, and they're going to be a tough test for us. But you know, we weren't expecting them to score as many as what they had so early in the season.
People like myself and fans will talk about the recent meetings from last season, the playoffs and everything. But I would imagine you'd be ignoring that one. Or do you look back at some of those meetings to try and learn from them and learn how to beat them?
Well, obviously you look at games and you try and improve on what we've done in the past, because I don't think our record's been great against them, to be honest. So there is a bit of recent history with them, and you know, we want to put that right, and no better occasion than, you know, first game in the Championship against us.
I know obviously Leeds ultimately got promoted, but how much did it hurt when they came to Elland Road and beat you? I know Paddy got injured early doors, and you know, it seemed to be a game where I think Millwall probably thought the momentum had swung in their favour there, didn't they? Yeah,
it did, and I think, you know, a lot of people were thinking they were then going to go on and finish second, because they were on a tremendous run, and they didn't drop many points towards the end of the season. So I think we showed a lot of determination and character to turn that round, you know, that situation. So yeah, like you say, they came to our place full of form, and we were sort of coming off a not so good run, really. You know, we played a lot of games, a lot of fatigue had sort of set in a little bit, and we were scratching around for our points at the time, but we managed to turn it around and finish second. So, you know, very pleased with what we achieved.
And people have said in those previous meetings that Millwall have won the battle. Is that making it too simple though for why they've had a good record?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think our place in the playoffs, we battered them, and they scored a bit of a scrappy goal, really, you know, and got a 1-1, which we could have gone either way. I think it was Beck's missed a penalty as well. So yeah, I don't think they out-battled us or anything like that. I thought we were the better side, but you know, they had a little bit of luck that you need in them sort of games.
But it's a great game, great sort of atmosphere. It'll be at Elland Road to try and get your first home points of the season as well, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be a great atmosphere, but we've had some really good atmospheres this season already. You know, the fans were so noisy at Forest, were unbelievable. So yeah, they've been great this season. You know, it should be another good game.
And more build-up to the game against Millwall tomorrow. We'll have more from Simon Grayson and the standing captain, Johnny Howson. In the meantime, the reserve team were in action last night. They were 2-0 down to Gateshead before a revival in the second half saw Leeds win at 3-2 thanks to a brace from Mike Grella. After the game, we got reaction from Academy manager Neil Thompson and Dominic Pollion.
What did you make to the game this evening against Gateshead then? A bit of a bizarre one.
Today was tough. Like, we went 2-0 down straight away. Then after I struggle, and after we pulled out of the bag, passing it around and get back in the game.
We conceded a poor goal towards the end of the first half from a free kick. Second half, you know, we never turned up for the first 20-25 minutes and found ourselves 2 down. Then we changed it around a little bit, put Robbo just off, Mike up front, and we seemed to just get a little bit more quality up there. And then, you know, we started playing some football and got 3 goals.
Mike Grella, for me, was quiet for the first 70 minutes or so, but then he seemed to just turn himself on and get himself a couple of goals.
Well, Mike's got that in him, you know, he's got the ability. He's got terrific feet, and he got his 2 goals, and, you know, when Robbo played off him up there, and then Eddie White got the winner towards the end. So, you know, if we look at the result, yeah, we're pleased with the result, but the performance could be a lot better, that is for sure. Mike's a lad who's got bags of ability. Well, I've seen that many times when he's played in the reserves. It's, you know, he was... You know, he was frustrated, I think, tonight at times, maybe lack of service to him, but stuck at it and got his 2 goals at the end.
Have you been able to learn a lot from the pros? I mean, Mike Grella's managed to bag himself 2 goals this evening. You're a striker, do you look at him and think you could learn stuff? Oh
yeah, definitely. In training, like, just have little competitions with them, play with them, got to get to know them a bit more and just talk to them so they can advise you, so you can do well when you come out on the pitch.
I know you look at performances and not results, but from a game where you were 2-0 down, to get the points in your first game of the season, that's something to take from that, I suppose.
Well, from my point of view, it's like, what was it, 3 goals last 12 minutes, 15 minutes? It shows what's in the locker, and that's disappointing, because they shouldn't have to go 2-0 down to wake themselves up, and that's what happened. You know, we had little spell, as I said, first half, where we looked quite lively, had a decent amount of the ball, although looked a little bit vulnerable on the counter-attack. And then went 2-0 down, and then, you know, we just sort of stepped our tempo up, in the last 15 minutes and got all 3 goals. So that's disappointing when we know that you can open them up and score goals. And sometimes you've got to, you know, we were content and passing it sideways and backwards. You've got to put it into your strikers. Put the onus on them to get hold of it and have a bouncing board to play off. And once we started playing forward, we looked at more of a threat.
And just a quick reminder, the next reserve game has been postponed from Tuesday because Leeds United will be in Carling Cup action. And if you would like to see highlights of the game against Gateshead, which was a 3-2 win for Leeds, they're available now on LUTV. Next up, and as promised, let's bring you more from Tuesday night's Lorimer's Bar. And on the night, I managed to speak to some Leeds United fans for their thoughts on the season so far.
Obviously we've got a lot of players out injured. I think once we get Paddy back that'll be better, because nothing gets past Paddy, does it?
First game, there's a lot of pressure on the first game, trying to get the first points on the board and all that sort of thing. But on Saturday, after the first 20 minutes, we looked really comfortable. And I thought we did really, really well. And came out that game much heartened and actually disappointed we didn't get the result.
Well, they could have gone to pieces at Nottingham. It was a bit hairy the first sort of 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, but they stood fast and really we could have won it in the end, I think.
Which areas would you like to see the team strengthened?
Up front, definitely, because we've got Billy Painter, but he's out injured, and we seem to just, in pre-season, Billy Painter was good in pre-season, Robert Snodgrass was good, but both of them are out injured, so I think we need to bring someone in.
I think we could do with a decent forward. I mean, we haven't really seen the team properly yet, but a really good, I think we're going to miss Beckford, I think, really. Maybe we could get him back on loan.
What have you made of the new signings? Lloyd Sam's obviously got a couple of headed goals.
Yeah,
Kasper Schmeichel's impressed. Have you been impressed with how the guys have settled in?
People have been criticising Bassoni, the left back, and yeah, I can see where they're coming from with that, but I think Connolly's settled in really well as well. Kasper Schmeichel has been tremendous in the 2 games so far, and Sanchez Watt and Lloyd Sam have been, Lloyd Sam particularly, been a star.
Millwall next up on Saturday, lunchtime kick-off. Are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, definitely. It'd be a great atmosphere, same as last year before. Always is.
Hopefully we can beat them this time, because we've not had very good results against Millwall in the past, but I'm quite confident, yes. I think if we get behind the team and shut their fans up, then we'll be fine, I think.
1 win in 6 against Millwall for Leeds. They do have a bit of a hoodoo at the moment.
We're due for a result this week.
And we'll have more from Lorimer's Bar tomorrow night on We Are Leeds. Just a quick reminder that the deadline for season tickets is after the game on Saturday against Millwall. All the ticket details on the website as ever, www.leedsunited.com. Also details of the LUTV pay-per-view. If you would like to watch the game and you live in one of the countries where the game is available, you'll be able to do that on Saturday. But details of any countries that are added, again, on the website, www.leedsunited.com. Well, that's almost it for tonight. We're back tomorrow night with Leeds legend Eddie Gray in the studio for his thoughts on the game against Millwall. But for tonight, that is your lot. Thank you and good night.